Hi guys, it's me, just listening again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the Dragon Ball Z vlogs for my channel, I shall be talking about somewhat of a treat episode, and that it's the 22nd episode of Season 2 of this great show, which I don't know if that means anything special or not. 3 twos, but yeah, it is. Anyway, the name of the episode is Hidden Power, and I don't think it's really a Pokemon reference, being that it came out before the actual Generation 2 of Pokemon came out, and what I'm referring to is the move Hidden Power, which I want to say that this show came before the actual game, which is the Pokemon move, which, let's be honest with you, with ourselves, the move sucks. Yeah, I think it's the only move that is the unknown signature move, I believe, so it pretty much is crap. But in any case, this is a funny episode, and some of the more interesting pieces of dialogue, and I believe that Vegeta actually gives the secret to somebody. So I don't know who it's referring to, but maybe it's Gohan. But anyway, the Union Force does arrive by the end of the episode, and Frieza's response is a little bit odd, I think, but I'll get to that when we get to it. For right now, we're gonna continue with talking about Goku's training at 100 tons G gravity. So he pretty much uses his time on the big spaceship to finish his training under 100 tons of gravity, and he uses his punches and kicks at like super speed, and then he breaks off by saying that that by doing that his power and speed is so much that he can probably do a Kaioken times 10 with no problem. Which later on we will see that he does a Kaioken times 20 against Frieza, no noticeable difference to his stamina. So he underestimated his power. I don't know whether that's on purpose or not, but he is. Anyhow, there's one thing that I want to notice here is that when he reverts back to 1 times normal gravity, they show his strength being so much better than when he was training under the intensive gravity. And he crashes a rock with no problem on top piece of his tile floor, no issue. And let's see here, remark how easy it is to move around and whatnot. But what's really funny is that he swims in space, it floats in space, and yeah, like more imagination type thing like that. And look at me run, watch my speed. Now, the casual watcher of me when I was a young kid, I didn't give this a second thought. I thought that he was marveling at his speed, at his technique, his stamina, his strength, whatever else you could think of. Much in the same way that I get whenever I take up my 12-pound vest when I work out, whatever. So when I go back to the regular mode, like I am now, it's amazing how much I've come so far. So anyway, he said that, as you're doing that, but the casual person, that would be number 2, right? But the people who have watched the movie, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the first movie that was made in the 70s, you'll know that that's a quotation from Grandpa Joe, in which he said to everyone in his family, watch my speed as I faked being in bed the whole time, and I was going around in circles and making laps around the bed. So I don't know if Toyama actually watched that movie and thought that, hey, it'd be a fun little reference to put in my show or whatever. I don't even know if it's in the Japanese manga or not. That's pretty funny that you mentioned that. Also, when it comes to Goku, we all know that he's very likable. He's very much into food, drinks, and everything else, and partying up and everything. But one little thing that I noticed that when he sets up the gravity machine, the gravitron, to 1 times gravity, you go back downstairs for for some snack or something, and he goes in there and he reaches in there and grabs a beer, just a generic beer can. And what's funny is that he says, "No way, that's no good," and he throws it away, trying to be kind of wholesome and stuff. And then he grabs himself a nice sports drink that's healthier than the beer. Again, generic name, sports drink. That's it. No energy drink, no nothing, just that to replenish his electrolytes and get his slamming out, whatever. So I find that really funny too. I mean, Dr. Bruce should have known better than to put beer in his refrigerator, being that, he should know Goku from years of knowing the guy that he doesn't drink beer or any alcohol beverage to speak of. But what's really funny is that if you watch the original Dragon Ball, or say even some of the other more earlier episodes of Dragon Ball Z, you see that Master Roshi has no problem with drinking beer. In fact, that's like a big censorship thing in the show's history, where all of his beer were kind of censored to look more like cola or apple juice. Kind of weird for an old man of his age to be drinking that, but still, whatever. So I find that really interesting. So then it's time for him to take his bath. Now that they think of it, I'm just going to think first. That with the drink, the bath with the beer. I think he went for a shower first, then he went to go eat something, then he went to go to sleep for a nice little nappy nap. So anyway, he takes a shower in any case, whatever order it is, and I'm missing to save the Earth and the universe and to save his friends and family and whatever. They still have to put in some kind of QC type bunny type shampoo, because Japan, I guess. You gotta put a QC thing in there, Q product in there, or something. And also, we will have to see Goku's but I mean, sure, it's got a nice build to him. But why the hell do we have to see his rear end? I mean, in other episodes, whenever we see him naked, we always see him, as an adult naked. They always show the top portion of his body. So I don't get it. Why they have to show his butt naked? In any case, there's also a thing where they don't show his tail nub, where it's how it used to be. So I don't think ever or something, but he did with Vegeta. He was when his tail was cut off by Trophy. In any case, we show him napping and stuff. Also, I don't know the details I want to point out before we move on to the other part of the episode is that when they show the dining room and the sleeping quarters of the capsule spaceship, they show it not dented, not destroyed like the dream room, which is good because it shows that he doesn't do any intensive things in the non-training areas. That's really good. I would hate to see what would happen if you train in the bathroom or something. A Super Saiyan shit, for example. But this show is too clean for that. That I kind of joke with, so I've been in the Pilaf saga. So anyway, the next bit of comedy is when Krillin and Gohan finally make it to Elder Guru's house on the big rock spire. I wouldn't call it a mountain, but I would call it anything else but a spire because it's so narrow. It's like the Washington Monument. So anyway, because they went into hyperdrive, Vegeta got a hold of the scent, as it were. So then he goes over there and he investigates them and starts talking to them. And while Krillin is up there, getting distracted by Vegeta, which, by the way, I like the fact that when they were being tailed, they stopped and they did a weird pose for when they stopped to turn around. That would be nice. It was a very good, 2 or 3 frames of animation, but I still enjoyed it. So anyway, when Krillin is over there, talking to Vegeta about, stuff. So, Gohan goes inside and gets his power unlocked by Elder Guru. And Guru even says that this child's power is beyond anything that I've ever seen before. It's kind of like a little bit of a foreshadowing of what happened in Cell, and then the Buu Saga with massive power that's unlockable. So anyway, he does the thing when he does he touches his forehead, unlocks power, and then the kid like, oh wow, it got so powerful. And then you see a whip aura around him. Very similar to what happens when he's in the Ultimate form later on in the show's history. But then you see him doing the psych power where he gets all tense and it surges through him. That's pretty cool. But the funny part is that when Vegeta is talking to this Krillin, he senses the power level inside the building, and Guru is very old, like over say 500 years, I think it was. Which, by the way, very nice touch with putting him and Chris Sabat in the same voice of him, Piccolo, and Demon King Piccolo. Kind of like a family type of thing, you know. Very, very nice to have most of the Mexians have the same voice actor. So anyway, he's like, come on out of there, Kakarot. I know that you're the one that's that powerful, that kind of power signature in you. Come out, I'm coming in there after you. So right as he said this, Gohan comes out. He's like, yeah, you wanna say something to me? Bring on, bro. So like, so you're the one with the power again. So you're the one with the power. And then I laughed because, like, come on and hit me. Vegeta's like, come on and hit me. You're supposed to be so big and powerful. It reminded me of the old-fashioned Tom and Jerry cartoons in which Tom would go right here, and then another bigger force would come over and smash Tom in the jaw. Probably the bulldog or the little mouse one sneezes or sniffles, the other one, the bigger one. I can't think of a name right now, but still, you're like, come on and punch me, bro. So, then they pick up on another higher power, a really, really bad power, like the Demon Force. They finally come into the atmosphere, and Vegeta said that the 5 warriors are each stronger they're each as strong as I am, maybe even stronger. Boy, you know, Vegeta is very full of himself at this point, because the only one that he can take on so far is Gildo, possibly Jade at this point, but everyone else outclassed him by far. I mean, Raccoon steamrolled them. Burger can pretty much outpace him. And Ginyu, well, Ginyu is Ginyu's. He can kick everyone's butt in his force because he's the strongest. So everyone always assumed that it's Kakarot, no Goku. But it turns out that it's not him because there are 5 energy signatures. This brings a good question that I've been having is, how sensitive is Vegeta's and everybody else's sense of power sensing? Because it doesn't seem to be very good, because it seems like it's more like a general sense of, this person's powerful, we gotta watch out for this person, they're evil, this and that. They can discern like power level, they can deserve like that, what their intentions are, how good they are, how bad they are, whatever else they can, but they can't pinpoint exactly who it is yet. I mean, I can understand Vegeta doing that because he was new to this whole power sensing thing, but when it comes to Gohan and Krillin, they should know better after having years of experiencing this power, this ability, I should say. So anyway, more on that when the Ginyu guys come by shortly. So anyway, so like, Vegeta says that the only way that we can win against 5 guys like that is to actually, wish for myself to have immortality. And then we can meet them and then Frieza on top of that. So, Kuhn's like, yeah, right, mama, yeah. almost give you an evil person the ability to wish for immortality. And and so Nail behind him says, I think he's right. I think the only way you can win is by wishing for him to have immortality. So he goes over to they originally agreed to letting Vegeta have the Dragon Ball and go to fetch Bulma. And they make a little deal that said that Vegeta promises that all of the ending that happens to anyone in the future, Vegeta will not hurt any of his friends or family members. How honest that is, I have no idea, but that's what it says anyway, under duress. So they go to get Bulma and they get Dragon Ball, and it's funny because of all she's been through, she ends up learning a lesson and tying the Dragon Ball up with a piece of yarn or a piece of rope or something and puts it around her ankle. And it's really funny because we assume that Bulma is a straight person. And that she ends up falling in love with Yamcha, and then later on Vegeta, and possibly even Goku. She has love for Goku until she snatched him up. So it's funny because when she's actually waiting for the boys to come back for her and rescue and whatnot, to protect her from Vegeta and anybody else that's trying to get them. She looks at Sports Illustrated, particularly the swimsuit edition, and on the cover is a woman. So I'm gonna stretch you and say that Bulma Breathed is a bisexual person because she likes both men and she likes to look at women because when we look at a magazine which features beautiful women in bathing suits. She's much more interesting that way, I think, rather than just being a straight person. So anyways, they pick up the ball and they see that she's tied to it. And they don't even let her know about it. And they just take the ball and run away. And she's like, do you have any idea what I went through for that ball? Come back for you. And she could easily be yelling at Vegeta too for that. Or Krillin or something, because Krillin knows how much of a pain in the ass Bulma can be at times. So I find that kind of funny. But in any case, then they ran away to reunite all the balls together to meet the 3 wishes, which they are really surprised that Nail was the one to tell them that the balls have a 3-wish capacity rather than just the one from Earth. I mean, first of all, they made their own balls, so they should be able to tell what the rules are when they aren't. Second of all, look at the size they think. The ones from Earth are like about the size of a baseball, and the ones from Namek are about the size of bigger than a basketball. So you would think that by that logic, the big ones would have more wishes attached to them too. Plus for all the headache you have to go through to get them. Besides, they don't mention anything about the Namekian passcode. SIG card. Activate them. They didn't mention that part yet. Even though to go on clearly on the good side. Even Elder Guru said something that they got pure intentions. otherwise he wouldn't do the unlocking technique. Let's see here now. Okay, so the universe actually touched down on the planet. Gotta say, it's gonna be pretty rough to land and stay in space pods. They just smack it into the ground and make gigantic craters. So that can be an easy thing to do. Plus, for the thing is that when they're in space, they have different I know that's on purpose, so I can't help but they have a different formations. Yeah, that's how I'll put it. Formations. But when they land it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4 formations. And when they go on the ground, they immediately do like a symmetrical dance pose, reminiscent of Sailor Moon or Saint Seiya before that. And I know they did before that too, where they had a group of soldiers for something, do like dance poses. I know that Toriyama said that was one influence for the Ginyu Force, Sailor Moon and the others for like dance poses and stuff. Now I can understand Jojo's pose, I can understand Raccoon's pose, Burger and Jason's pose, but for the leader of the group, Captain Ginyu's pose the way he looks from between his legs to his back end, that's really stupid. That's really retarded. I have no idea why he thought that would be a good idea for him to introduce him in the team to the boss Frieza. And when Frieza looked at these guys with the little briefcase with the covers and stuff, he puts on a piece like, these are my elite warriors, right? Meanwhile, they're doing the antics, doing backflips, and doing all kinds of silly stuff. Sure that they got a nice killer pedigree, but still, these people, these are my people. He shouldn't be straying around like a bunch of peacocks. And you could tell that Frieza was awkward and kind of uncomfortable by this. But the thing is that right across his nose, like the red mark of embarrassment on his face, which normally would be like representative of a drunken stupor. Because whenever someone drinks and gets drunk like that, they usually have that embarrassing raspberry mark right here across the face. So I don't know why he did that. Unless he was so embarrassed by the group and so dumbfounded by how stupid these poses were that he was pretty much why you do that? And he started to talk about stuff and everything else. And then I think of it, is that with Frieza's lowest form, the headpiece, the head crest, looks something like Captain Ginyu with his horns. That was the way to slaughter Frieza or whatever, but it's kind of weird. I know they're not related, but it's kind of weird. So anyway, we see that Vegeta, same prince, that the most deadly force ever could Earth itself was pissed as scared of seeing the force coming near it, because he knew that because he got rid of Zaba and the doors so quickly that they were there to clean up him and to clean up everybody else over there. There stood no chance whatsoever. And when the Kakarot shows up later on, which that shouldn't be too much longer wait. But yeah, I'm excited to see the episode. And let's see here. I don't even think that in the future episodes we see the Jizz Bum Bum, which is good because I don't want to see any singing butts. Except maybe the launch, which, yeah, I cut that Super Saiyan because she became blunt and angrier and more aggressive. So let's see here. Yeah, they evolved with this mysterious forces named the Ginyu Force going over and wanting to destroy all three of the enemies, do everything that he commands, like a certain group of people during World War II. Not that were just flunk warriors. And yeah, it's kind of fun that way. And they don't care about anything else but serving Lord Frieza. They don't care about what the Bolton can do. They don't care about anything else but exterminating the threats and doing what Lord Frieza bids them to do. Let's see here now. Yeah, this thing is pretty awesome in itself. We finally get to see the threats that everyone keeps talking about. Gets that Goku's power level has increased by a substantial amount. But will it be enough to defeat all the Ginyu Force? The answer is yes, but we'll get to that later on. Well, I thank you for watching my video on the 22nd episode of Season 2 of this great show called the name of the episode is called Hidden Power. Not Big Power, but Hidden Power. It's a very good episode because Gohan finally gets unlocked somewhat. And if his power were fully unlocked, he would be able to defeat everybody. Even probably the android at this point. Probably not so, but android 17 and 18. Maybe 16 too. Which, now they know how Raccoon has a very distinct look to him. Yeah, well, they copied that over for 16, Android 16 too. As well as, I believe, Commander Red's son. So yeah, I guess 2020 I meant like that, like the design. But anyway, Hidden Power is awesome of an episode. And I definitely give it my happy face. Silver purple. Because it kicks so much ass. And with so much action, with so much content, I like that. Goku Blue. I did it. I did the training regimen. I like the fact he doesn't like beer. It's more like a cleaner version of Master Roshi. It's like for the kids. And I doubt that if you like beer, he would ever go on the flying nimbus. But as you all know, if you like beer, then that means that you have a prerequisite to join the U.S. Supreme Court. So yeah, if you guys like what you see here, and want to see more of my videos and such, you can like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you like, you can also reach me on my channel by you can look at my content and ask questions about it by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or you can follow me on Twitter or X at PNelsonPro. You can also get my email at jjsjuniorchannel@gmail.com, and you can also get me on my I salute anyone that likes this show or anybody else that likes anime in general. And I salute anyone who likes that anime, the Akira, the Goku, and the Holy Kamehameha. Amen. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in internet land. Sayonara, ta-ta, and ciao ciao.